Hello everyone, myself S. Sethupathi, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science at Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology. In this unit, we will explore the world of UI design tools, dive deep into Figma workspace, understand wireframe and low fidelity prototype, learn auto layout, build interactive prototypes, and discover powerful Figma plugins. Before we jump into Figma, let's look at the popular UI design tools available in today. Figma is the most widely used because it's browser based, supports real-time collaborations, and handles both design and prototyping. Adobe XD is Adobe's offering a integrate well within Photoshop and Illustrator. Sketch is the powerful Mac-only vector design tool with a strong plugin community. InVision specializes in prototyping and user testing, great for stakeholders, presentations, frame in code powered and idea for complex animations. Zipline focus on developer hands-off. It automatically generates CSS code from designs. Each tool has its strengths. Now let's understand the Figma workspace, because the six key areas you will see use every time you design. The toolbar at the top given you all your drawing tools: move, frame, shape, pen, text and components. The layers panels on the left shows the complete hierarchy of your designs. Every frame, group, the and elements. The canvas is the infinite central area where you actually build your design. On the right, the properties panel shows fill, strokes, shadows and layout settings for whatever you select. The assets panel stores the resumable components, color styles and fonts. And the prototype panel also on the right is where you set up the interactive flows between screens. A useful shortcuts to remember: press F for frame, V for select, T for text and R for rectangle. Next slide. Wireframing is the first step in any UA design prototype or projects. A wireframe is a low detailed structural blueprint of the screen that focuses purely on layout and content placement. No colors, no real image, no final fonts. In Figma, you can create wireframes using shapes and layout structures, simple rectangle and frames that represent UA containers, headers, sidebars, and cards. Wireframes components are placeholder elements like text box, image boxes, and basic navigation bars. You also use Figma's layout grid to align everything neatly in columns and rows. Design flows a fidelity scale. Low fidelity wireframes are quick sketches and basic boxes. Mid fidelity adds grayscale and real content. High fidelity is the final polishing designs with full color fonts and actual assets. Always start low fidelity. Okay, it saves time and keep your focus on structure before style. The next slide, auto layout. Auto layout is one of Figma's most powerful features. It makes frames automatically resize and reflow when content changes, similar to how CSS flexbox in web development. There are six key properties to understand. Padding controls the inner space between the content and the frame edges. Spacing sets the gap between child elements inside the frame, like the CSS gap property. Direction sets whether elements flow hierarchically, side by side, or vertically, stacked to top to bottom. Resizing has three models: fix, keep the frame at the set size; huge, shrink the frame to fit its content; and fill, expand the frame to fill its parent container. These three settings are essential for responsive design. Combining fill and hug lets your design adapt to different screen sizes. Finally, component and variants. Auto layout works inside components, and variants let you create multiple state like hover, active, and disable all in single component. The next slide is prototyping in Figma. Prototyping in Figma turns your static design into interactive experience that simulate a real app or website. First, creating interactive flows. You connect the frame by dragging a blue arrow from your frame to another in the prototyping panel. Each connection becomes a user interactions. You mark a flow starting point to show where your use journeys begins. You can have multiple flows in a single Figma and preview everything. In Figma, build in presentation mode. Second, settings. Triggers. A trigger is what activates a transition. On click fires when the user taps or click elements like that. On hover activities when the mouse moves over it. Or drag fires on a swipe or drag gestures. While hovering holds a state during mouse hover. And on key press active with a keyboard shortcut. Third, smart animation transitions. This is Figma's most impressive feature. It automatically animates matching layers between two frames, creating smooth app-like transitions. You can choose from easing typing like ease in, ease out, linear and bounce and set the exact duration in milliseconds or milliseconds. The seventh slide is Figma plugins. Figma supports plugins that extend its functionality. You can install them by going to menu, the plugins, the browse plugins. Let's look at four essential plugins for our this course. Iconify give you access over 1 lakh open source icons from sets like Material Designs, Front Awesome, Hero Icon, and Feather, all directly inside Figma. Simple open the plugin, search for an iconic by name, and click Insert in on your canvas. Content Reel autofills use your design with realistic data, name, profile, picture, email, address, and more. Select your text or image layers. Open Content Reel, choose the data type, and click Populate. This makes your mockups looks real instantly. Unsplash lets your interest beautiful royal free photos directly into your Figma designs without even leaving the app. Select a frame, open the Unsplash plugin, search for your topic, and click any photo you want to fill in the frame. Contrast checker is the essential accessibility in plugin. It checks whether your text and background color combines meet WCAG, AAA or AAA accessibility standards like this. Select any text elements and plugins immediately tells you whether your design passes or fails in the contrast test. That's all guys. Let's see the summary. Let's quick summarize the unit. UI tools, Figma, Adobe HD, Sketch Invention, and frames each server different designs needs with Figma being the most versatile and widely used. Figma Workspace is the 6 panels: toolbar, layers, canvas, properties, assets, and prototyping. Wireframing, low fidelity blueprints using shapes, placeholder components, and layout grid to define screen structure before using its style. Auto layout, responsive frames controlled by padding, spacing, direction, and fill or hug resizing, just like CSS Flexbox. Prototyping, interactive flows built with trigger and like on click and on hover, animated using smart animated transitions. Plugin, it's used icon tray and icons, content rail for real data, Unsplash for photos, and contrast checks whether accessible designs. Thank you. Thank you for watching.